One night in August 2024, a message appears on the email inbox of a German journalist. The sender is an anonymous whistleblower who claims to have internal documents from a Russian agency.
These documents show that the Kremlin orders and funds campaigns to exert influence worldwide. This has been going on for years and has probably affected many countries. Hello?
Good evening, Jörg. How are you? Jörg Schmidt is one of the journalists receiving this unprecedented data leak from Russia.
I think it is one of the most important data leaks of the past year.
Why share these documents with us?
Because France is one of Russia's main targets, due to the French support for Ukraine.
We are the first French journalists to access these documents deemed authentic by the FBI and foreign media that have analyzed them. 2.6 gigabytes of data in Russian. More than 3,000 files, thousands of images, and messages published by fake accounts to disrupt public debate. Among these documents, hundreds of caricatures in several languages. We counted more than 600, often outrageous or in very poor taste. They relay the propaganda of the Russian authorities.
It has a slightly ridiculous aspect, it must be said, but that's not a reason to take this kind of operation lightly.
Kevin Limoni is a researcher. He has been working for more than 15 years on Russian influence operations and is familiar with the agency that produced these drawings, the SDA, the Social Design Agency, which presents itself as a communication agency.
What distinguishes the SDA from its counterparts is its political dimension, and it is the fact that it is very closely connected to the Kremlin, and that this company today organizes influence and destabilization campaigns on behalf of the Russian state.
The first target of the SDA, the Ukrainian president, is presented as an heir of Nazi Germany.
Come back. Ukraine is waiting for you.
Performing the Nazi salute, wearing a swastika. Images accusing Volodymyr Zelensky of anti-Semitism. France, an ally of Ukraine, is also mocked. Emmanuel Macron portrayed as a fake Napoleon.
Everything will be considered to infuse this idea that we must stop helping Ukraine.
Nearly 1/3 of these caricatures target our country.
We are here solely because of Russia.
Sometimes poorly translated,
Emmanuel invites you to come in.
or incomprehensible.
My God, for what?
These drawings mock our controversies, like the Paris Olympics, surrounded by bed bugs and rats.
Welcome to the Olympic Games.
Other images have a clearly political purpose. Before the European elections in June 2024, the SDA produced a series of caricatures aimed at encouraging the vote for the national rally.
Put the house in order, Marine.
The objective is, of course, to push populist movements, whether they are right-wing or left-wing. They will press on most of the sensitive areas in France at a given moment, whether it's purchasing power, whether it's migrations. Their objective is our disunity.
This objective is even described by the SDA in a working document. Intensify internal tensions and artificially create conflict situations. The images are then widely circulated on social media through fake accounts.
Most of the content produced by this company gets very few views, very few likes, very few interactions, all right? So one could say that objectively, most of this content has almost no impact. However, sometimes there can be one that does have an impact.
Like this photo montage mocking the president of Ukraine. The image of Volodymyr Zelensky is accompanied by this message.
When it's been 5 minutes since you last asked for $1 billion in aid,
In October 2023, this production by the SDA circulating on Trumpist forums is posted on X by Elon Musk and viewed over 95 million times. How could this image have been shared by the billionaire who became an advisor to the American president? Elon Musk has not responded to us. Among the documents in our possession, a curious video. It will inform us about the working method of this disinformation company. A sort of promotional clip made like an action movie trailer. And now, we'll tell you what we did for a year. Our work consists of collecting and analyzing what Western media disseminate and preparing our informational attacks. At the head of this agency is a certain Ilya Gambashidze. He is the one staging himself in this video. On his arm, the badge of a fictitious battalion. Russia's ideological troubles, the forces of truth. The battlefield is the minds of the inhabitants of planet Earth. This battlefield will remain ours. The goal of this clip, to highlight the strike force of the SDA to secure new contracts with the Russian authorities.
We are in the realm of the spectacular. I think they might have shown this during a symposium or perhaps during meetings to raise funds or things like that.
So, no doubt, this video was shown at the
No
Kremlin.
doubt. This video was shown at the Kremlin to officials. Yes, yes.
We would have liked to interview the Russian ambassador in France. He did not respond to our requests, but his predecessor, Alexandre Orlov, accepted. He left his position in 2017. We show him the video of the head of the SDA, in which he praises his agency's methods.
well, listen, it's work that is being done by all countries to analyze what's happening.
Here, it's more than analysis. Here, he claims to spread fake news and carry out informational attacks.
I'm a bit surprised that someone who creates fake news openly says this in a video. That's why I still have doubts about the authenticity of this document.
Yeah, you may be familiar with a company called the Social Design Agency.
The?
Social Design Agency,
I don't know.
which you may know better by its Russian name. It is agency Wasenselnova to be fired.
No, it doesn't ring a bell. And its founder, Ilya Gambashidze?
Never heard of this agency, this company, or this gentleman. I can't say anything. According to the address on its website, the SDA has set up its headquarters in Moscow, in this building, 500 meters from the Kremlin. A proximity that is not just geographical. In the agency's files, we discovered the contact details of members of the Russian administration. Among them, Sofia Zakharova, head of department at Vladimir Putin's office. She is under European Union sanctions for having led disinformation campaigns. When asked, the Kremlin told us they know nothing about the SDA. Russia has regularly been accused of attempts to interfere in France, particularly in public debate. What is your response to that?
Listen, everything bad that happens in France is blamed on Russia. I have never had any evidence to support the accusations made against Russia, that Russia interfered in French public debates or elections. Never.
French state services have published reports that clearly attribute these disinformation campaigns to Russian companies.
If the French authorities have this evidence, they need to present it. It's the public.
I can show you, if you want. In June 2023, Viginum, the State Service for Combating Foreign Digital Interference, investigated these operations. The SDA is designated as one of the masterminds.
Yes, fake news, it was.
Attribution of the campaign to 2 Russian companies.
Okay. But listen, I'll leave that to the specialists to judge. You can say many things, but in any case, I believe that there is not really interference in the French public debate. Spreading fake news is something else, of course. It's not good, but it is not forbidden either. It is the information war, as you say, and we did not start
You
it.
say, spreading fake news is not good, but it's not prohibited. What is implied is that you admit that Russia disseminates fake
I
news.
do not admit anything. It does not correspond, if you will, to our style of work.
Today, Russia is not just spreading fake news and caricatures. It is also looking for playthings.